That should be the question for the country at the moment. Who do you think you are? What do you think you've become?
Well, exactly. Don't you think our Western culture, our Western heritage, our Western identity has disintegrated into madness? Boys have periods. Boys can have babies. Oh, this is the perfect time to control the people because they think this crap that we've indoctrinated them with. So let's do it. And now everyone's complying. I feel like punching people all the time when I hear them saying, well, if people stop protesting and, well, if people did this and if people did that, like they're literally a mouthpiece for the TV.
It's gaslighting and it's worked. Well, it's worked with some parts of the population. It's the fault of those people over there. Well, no, it's not the fault of those people. Actually, you want to know whose fault it was originally? It was a fellow called Xi Jinping who oversaw a country that run experimental virus research inside a lab in Wuhan, and it got out of that lab. And we don't know to this day whether it got out accidentally or whether it got out deliberately. But that's the start of it. But really, the protesters out on the streets and the people complaining on Facebook and through whatever medium they can complain, they're not the ones that have put us into lockdown.
No.
They're not the ones that have caused all of what comes from lockdown. Now, I just want to segue a bit. You started off with a Bible verse.
Yes.
And you spoke then straight after that about people saying, oh, if only they would stop doing this. Well, there's a tendency, sadly, and I saw this only yesterday, a tendency amongst some Christians, probably, I'm not sure if it would be a majority, but some Christians anyway, to say something to the effect of, following the secular crowd, right? Oh, you people that always talk about your personal freedoms, that's really selfish, and that's got absolutely nothing to do with the gospel. That's got nothing to do with Jesus, and we're all about loving one another and love your neighbor as yourself. And how is it loving your neighbor as yourself if you're putting your selfish personal freedom ahead of saving people from this virus?
Amen.
And nothing more makes my blood boil, because it's like, hey, what? My selfish personal freedom? No. Let me tell you, anyone who goes out on the streets is arrested. They could be tackled by police, fined. People who those are the people who go out to protest. The people who get ahead of steam because of what they're saying on social media or whatever, they can get arrested for incitement. That happened today to someone. I'll talk about that later.
Monica.
Yes, it did, and I know a little bit of info from that that I can talk about in a while.
Yes, please.
People get smashed by the media. They get derided by other people. They get called crazies. They get called nutters. I mean, this is the traits of really selfish people who want all of this glory. Glory isn't getting arrested. Glory isn't getting
absolutely not
demonized in the press and online and being piled on. So why are these people doing it then? It's certainly not for what it's for is that they understand when collective freedoms, it's not just for you, me, but for everyone, including those who are detractors against the pro-freedom cause, and they are out there fighting for those freedoms, fighting for everyone's freedoms. And look, I've been a politician for over a decade now.
Yeah.
Before that, I was in local government for over half a decade, and I know a little bit about the mindset of politicians, and I know a little bit about the mindset of bureaucrats that inform those politicians. And I got to tell you, when it comes to power, you give an inch and they will take a mile. But even if, even if all of the pandemic restrictions were done for very altruistic reasons, right? Even if it was all altruistic, the fact is that at the end of the day, it has caused an increase in suicides, an increase in poverty, an increase of unemployment, an increase in business collapse, an increase of of isolation and loneliness and all of the problems that stem from that, increase in mental illness. It's caused people to put off going to see a doctor or going to get a checkup, and that's led to deaths. So all of these ills have been caused by this lockdown mentality. And I turn around to those people who try and stylize themselves as my side is righteous because we're trying to save our neighbor from this dreadful virus versus these selfish freedom protesters. Well, I just point out one thing. These people who say that they are the righteous, they're actually the ones living in fear of a virus that has a 0.27% infection fatality rate.
Amen, brother.
So convenient for these people who say that, oh, we need to just protect everyone. You know what? You're also protecting yourself, and that's selfish. You're protecting yourself and putting yourself ahead of all of those problems that are falling mainly on the most marginalized and poor people in our society. And so all I got to say is to those people, whether they're Christians or not, who think that they are on the side of the righteous with lockdowns in this argument versus us selfish freedom fighters, well, you got another thing coming. And there's a little chapter in Matthew about, removing the log from your own eye before you complain about the speck in someone's eye.